Hey guys, as you just saw, this video is sponsored by Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Their website is smkw.com, smkw.com. Check them out. Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. I'm out on a beautiful sunny New Hampshire morning, and what I have with me today is the ESEE CR 2.5. Tiny little knife, but a lot of functionality to this knife. So let's put this thing to use and show you what it's capable of in a knife that's, you know, for a lot of people they're gonna look and say, is that usable in the outdoors? I'm telling you, this thing is an awesome little knife. I think really underrated, and yeah, I like it a lot. I think you're gonna like it a lot too. So a quick look at my surroundings here. It's what we call a transition area between different parts of the woods. You've got some open space, so lots of wildlife in this area. Cool place to just get out into the woods and to work on some skills. As you can see here, just gathering some dry tinder to get a fire going. So I'm going to take my ESEE CR 2.5, and I saw this from, I think it was Cole Craven Bushcraft. Here's a guy who's got a YouTube channel, but he was also on a loan, and a kind of a cool way to just, you know, you basically flatten out one side of a stick and then use this to scoop up resin, which is better than getting it all over your knife. So you kind of just create a little flat portion here, and then we're going to gather some resin for our fire. Okay, I've got a down birch tree over here, so I'm gonna go over there. Gotta go through a little bit of a wet area, and we're gonna gather some of the bark to get our fire started as well. So, and you're gonna see basically, you know, having a huge survival knife, yeah, it's fun, but a tiny little knife does the job for a lot of things. Here's a quick look at some of the bark I collected, so we'll scrape off the wet portions and use the dry portions for our fire. Here's a quick look at some feather sticking with the CR 2.5. Pretty awesome. Okay, so what we got here is some goldenrod that I collected, some birch bark that I sliced off with the ESEE. I've got some of the resin that I collected by using this stick that I carved with the ESEE, and that's been kind of mushed into the birch bark and the goldenrod. I've got a bunch of feather sticks that made as well, and we're gonna get a little fire started here. And the spine of this thing is awesome as far as using a fire steel. What you just saw there was a little bit of the experience I've had with the ESEE CR 2.5. It's a cool little knife. I want to talk through some of the details here. So you're talking 0.125 inches thick, and you're talking obviously a 2.5 inch blade. End-to-end length is 6.25 inches. It does have that black oxide finish, and it's not a coating. I've called it a coating in other videos. I checked out the ESEE PR for the Patrick Rollins 4, and in that video I kept calling it a coating. It's really just a finish. Should give you a little bit more resistance to corrosion. 1095 is your steel. It is a full tang knife. This version right here is the orange G-10 handles. The original has micarta handles, but I like this orange handle. I just think it's really cool. I actually have the other one as well, but I like the look of this one. It does have a lanyard hole there. Give you a little look at the spine. Here's a look at the sheath. This is part of their Camp Lore series, so you'll see there on the back of the leather sheath it says Camp Lore. Rides nice and deep in the in the sheath, and that's what that looks like. So let me give you some thoughts on this knife. First thing is that they call this a bird and trout knife, and so in this video you have not seen me dress a fish or a bird. It's past prime fishing season here in New Hampshire, or I would be doing that for you, and I'm not a bird hunter. So it's designed with that in mind, you know, some of the detail work when you're dressing your game. But as you saw, it does other things, and I'll roll in some footage here. I did a lot more feather sticking with this, did some more carving. I'll even show you a little bit of food prep with it. Because the blade is not super long, you want to be aware that you're not getting a ton of slicing. You know, if you're cutting something that's really big as far as food prep, it's not a super long blade, so you got to just be aware of that. I guess my main thing about this knife is that I've seen this thing for years at various shows, and I've had this one and used it, and it's just a really cool knife. And I think, you know, the leather sheath it's cool for the outdoors. Put this into a kydex sheath that you could wear like as a neck knife, and this thing I think would be a great little tool. I did a survival outing probably 2 years ago, and I took a big hefty knife, and then I took the ESEE Azula, and in that expedition, that one day overnight thing, maybe 36 hours that I did, I used the Azula way more than I used the big hefty knife. And I just think there's something to be said about a compact knife that you can do a lot of work with. And this is one of those knives. This knife came to us from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and they're sponsoring this video. The price point for this at the time of this video for this knife is $79.99. So it's it's ESEE quality. They're going to stand by it forever. If you've ever seen ESEE at like Blade Show or other outdoor shows, they have a display there of ESEE knives that have been returned, and they just stand behind their gear for the life of the gear. They're standing behind the gear. So yeah, it's a really fun little knife to use, and I'll be using this thing a lot more. I'm trying to think if I want to like have a system with this, and then my ESEE 6 that I have in Venom Green with the bright orange handles as kind of a small knife, big knife type of thing. Maybe I'll go with this and then an ESEE hungless as well, and maybe make that my system. What I currently have for a system is a hungless, and then the I think it's the RB3, RB3, I think it is. And that's a smaller knife, but then this is a tiny knife, so maybe you do a 3-knife system with those guys. But I was talking to one of the reps from ESEE, I think back at SHOT Show, maybe even at Blade Show, and he was just saying he thinks this blade is really underrated, that he knows a lot of people, including himself, who use it and really like it a lot, and I'm certainly in that category as well. So this ESEE CR 2.5, you can get it with this orange handle, again G-10. You can also get it with the satin finish, and then the micarta handle, which is kind of like a tan. And great little knife, lots of uses for it. And I'd be interested to hear what you think about this knife, and then also just smaller knives in general. It's fun to have a big survival knife, but do you have any small knives that you use on a regular basis that you really like? Let's hear about that in the comment section. Thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.